With 2 locations in Vergas and Perham, make the right call. Call Hanson's, the most trusted name in plumbing and heating.
M-State Business and Entrepreneurial Services, helping business grow in a community near you.
Nadine's is blowing the lid off fashion and service. Nadine's has cutting-edge fashion from Tribal, Woolrich, Liz Claiborne, and more. Plus, Nadine's is your headquarters for Brighton jewelry and accessories. Nadine's in Perham. Why look just okay when you can look great?
The Reuse It Thrift Shop, benefiting the Boys and Girls Club, is Perham's newest thrift store. Stop in at 900 East Main to shop or donate soon.
Welcome. I'm Mike Parda, local Perham businessman and taxpayer, and today I'm joined by Mitch Anderson, superintendent of the Perham Dent District 549 schools, and we're going to talk about the upcoming school referendum on April 3rd. Last week when we visited with you, we talked more about the history of the school and so forth. We're just going to touch that in a little bit today and bring us up to date. But today we'd like to focus more on what the levy means in terms of savings for the district moving forward and the educational opportunities brought to the students through the new levy referendum. So with that, Mitch, do you just want to give us a recap of
Sure.
how we got to where we are today?
You bet. Like all the other districts in the state, we're struggling financially, being asked to do more with less, so to speak. So state funding for schools, not many can argue that's kept up with inflation and other needs. So I think a telling tale with that is 336 school districts are in the state of Minnesota, and 309 of those are with an operating levy. And Perham Dent is one of a handful that haven't been able to get one of those passed. So we're looking at some different options here, how we can still meet the needs and some of the things that just simply have to get done in the district, as well as provide a good educational experience for our kids, and maybe a different structure than the operating levy, which hasn't been successful in the past.
Yeah, we know that we've had several levies that weren't successful. We know that state funding has been diminished because of changes in how schools are funded. And how much has the Perham Dent School cut in its budget?
Going back the last 7-8 years, you're looking at close to $4 million in cuts and reductions to programming and staff and some of the course offerings, and just a whole plethora of different areas. I think every possible place that you could look to save a penny, the district has gone there. So we're to the point now where we're looking ahead and how do we continue to offer a great educational experience and keep up with our neighbors and try to give our kids a chance.
What makes this levy effort different than the levy efforts you've tried in the past?
The capital project levy that we're pursuing here on April 3rd is different than an operating, and it's really a direct response to the 4 big reasons that we've heard is why people haven't supported the operating levies in the past. And the biggest probably difference is that this capital project levy does include the seasonal rec and the ag land that's in our school district, which is 38% of our net tax capacity. So obviously when you pull that many more people into the equation, the individual tax impact dramatically drops about a fifth of what it would have cost with an operating.
Wow. That's a big change.
Yeah, an example of that would be a $200,000 market valued home back in November with that levy would have cost $211 a year. With the capital levy now, with everybody included with it, drops down to $45. So it really is a dramatic drop once you look at all the other.
And this levy, unlike the other levy, is really very focused on where the money can be spent.
Yeah, this capital project levy is covered under statute, so any expenditure that we would have as a result of this passing has to be something that is allowed under the statute. And that really narrows it down to buildings and grounds and technology is what we're focused on. So we're looking at taking care of the roof problems that everybody's tired of hearing about, but until they're taken care of, they still exist. We've got parking lots that are starting to give us some problems and are going to cost us more down the road if we don't take care of them now. And then we've got heating and cooling. For example, our high school is still running on 1960s boilers, so we'd like to get them replaced with some higher efficient systems.
Are you going to see some savings to the district in the long run with these changes you're talking about?
Yeah, obviously with the boilers, we're hoping the payback on that is minimal once we get a newer system. in place. The roofs in the parking lots, like I said, right now trying to patch those areas and kind of nickel and dime us. We're hoping that down the road we'll see savings. But as we look at the other side of the levee and in the technology infiltration that we want to put with this, there's some real possible advantages to going with iPads to replace our traditional textbooks.
Okay.
When it comes to technology, I'm pretty low maintenance. I just want internet that's fast and reliable. Lots of channel options for my TV, including HD and multi-room DVR. Oh, and friendly customer service, of course. No one delivers the products and services I need like Arvig. It's pretty simple, really. Arvig provides lots of choices for me and my family, all for an unbeatable value. And knowing I can get all of that and more from Arvig, well, that keeps me and my family happy. Arvig, it's all here. Follow us on Facebook or visit arvig.com.
Let Ghost Runner buy, sell, and bid for you on eBay. From cars, antiques, electronics, to collector items, Ghost Runner handles all aspects of the transaction. We will help you get top dollar for your items.
Ghost Runner Errand Service. Why waste your time on the small things?
The second part of the levee that you want to talk about right now is probably the bricks and mortar and heating systems and stuff are things that we don't see in our daily lives. But the second part, the technology part, is something that will affect the classrooms and all of the students. What are some of the great things that can come out of this levee for the students?
You bet, and I think that's a critical piece, and that's what's neat about this levee is that it is twofold in that we get to protect our past and our buildings, but then it also allows us to envision what we want our schools and our students to experience down the road. And I think we're at a critical stage in education where we're trying to prepare our kids for jobs that don't exist yet. I think technology has just come leaps and bounds, and we owe it to our kids to prepare them for life after high school, whether that's the 2-year or 4-year or the workforce. And our plan with the capital levy dollars would be to put in some infrastructure in all of our buildings to be able to support a 21st century classroom. So right now we've got pockets in the building where we have pretty good Wi-Fi connectivity, but we don't have it throughout, and it really limits us to what we can do. We're also looking at bringing in iPads, starting down at our early childhood program and getting kids that hands-on learning experience. Our elementary and our middle school would have 5 or 6 iPads in each classroom, which is great for the teacher to use for centers or for small group learning. But that also allows them to do a one-to-one initiative in their room for some lessons. So if we've got 4 third-grade teachers, if one of those teachers wanted to use a device for every kid, they could borrow from the other teachers and they'd have enough to be able to do that. Then we get up to the high school, and that's where we've looked at a 9 through 12 iPad initiative where every student would have an iPad to be used for their internet, looking up research, using it for that capacity. It would be their scheduler, it would be their email messaging. But there's also potential there to see some significant district savings with the new e-books or the electronic textbooks that are out. Apple a couple weeks ago released some of the new e-books that they've worked on, and the cost for that is $15 for that electronic book. And you compare that to a traditional textbook that we all grew up with. We can get those used for $75, $80, but to get new ones, they're ranging anywhere from $100 to $150 a piece. So you start doing the math there. If a kid's got 5 classes and we need 5 e-books, it's going to cost us about $75. Where if they each have a $100 tag on them, you're looking at $500, $600. So I think the overall experience for a kid also with in class as far as their attention and being on task with an iPad, I think is much higher than it is with the traditional texts. Up until last year we had social studies books, history books that didn't talk about 9/11 or some of the major events, and the advantage to the electronic books is they're automatically updated and we get the new version each time with them. Our kids are getting up-to-date information, not relying on the same textbook that we were using back in the 90s or early 2000s.
You'll be able to upgrade your labs and so forth as well?
Yeah, a lot of our computer labs in the district right now are full of machines that are 7 or 8 years old, and they are starting to give us some issues with our online testing, which is required now. So I think everybody that's got a computer at home knows that 3 to 5 years is the average life expectancy for that, and we're at double of that with some of our computer labs. So we'd be looking at updating those, getting our kids equipment that's working, functioning right. And then we'd also be looking at our classroom computers. Each room at the elementary has 2 or 3 classroom computers that kids use for projects and small group stuff. So be updating all of those as well.
So the levy is going to have a tremendous effect on your budget, it sounds like, especially your capital budget.
Exactly. You know, we have capital levy dollars, but they aren't enough to cover all those things that we've talked about, and those are things that are immediate. The school board, started with $4 or $5 million worth of things that we feel eventually need to get taken care of or done. They've cut that down to $2.2 million, which is the capital levy request amount. And they've really separated the wants from the needs and looked at things that need to get done right away.
So if people want to learn more about this levy, who should they call?
They can contact me directly here at the administration office at 346-4501. They can stop in any time to visit. We're in the high school building, easy to find. Should mention the vote is April 3rd, and we'll have 3 polling places very similar to what we had back in the fall. So we'll have here in Perham at the PAC from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. on April 3rd, at the Dent Senior Center from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m., and at the Otter Tail Community Center for the same time, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. We'll also be offering some levy informational meetings the last week in March, March 27th at 7 o'clock at the Dent School. We'll have a levy informational meeting on Wednesday at the Otter Tail Community Center at the same time, and then here in Perham at the high school auditorium on Thursday, March 29th at 7 o'clock.
Thank you, Mitch, for this information. And as he said, if you want more information, give him a call.
I appreciate it. Thank you.